We're going to be talking about staying pure in relationships before marriage and the guidelines that we use to make that happen. All right, so we're talking about staying pure in our relationships before marriage.
Yeah, and you know what? I know we're in 2017 and people may think that's weird, like to be sexually pure before marriage. Like, come on, like that's so 1950s. But if you're a Christian, okay, if you're trying to serve God, it's kind of not a choice. It's not like, do I want to save myself for marriage or do I just want to go out and do whatever I want? Jesus, he kind of commands it in his word.
So Jenna, what are these golden rules? What are these golden guidelines? What do they look like?
Yeah, so as I said, there's only 4. The first one was don't be alone together.
And so you guys, like, that is actually something that we put together. We actually did that in our relationship. So we were meeting at Starbucks a lot.
We got a lot of our money, that's all I gotta say.
There was this one time, there was these couple times, like it was in the winter, and I would go to her apartment where she was staying, and if her roommate wasn't there, guess who had to wait outside in the rain with an umbrella? Me. Is that a true story?
That's true.
That's a true story, but you know
and your
what?
shoes and socks got all wet, huh?
Dude, there's times where I stepped in puddles and I had to go home and change my socks and come back, you know? But it was worth it. All right, Jenna, so what are some of the other golden guidelines that God's given you?
Yeah, so no laying down together. Seems pretty like a no-brainer, but hey, if you're tired, go home, take a nap, then come back and hang out. Simple as that. It's not hard, people. Just kidding. Just being real. The next one, no making out. And it's okay to kiss, like a Christian dating. We're not here to tell you what you can and cannot do. We're here to share you our story, what we did to stay pure, and it worked. And that's what we're here to say.
And you know what, basically you guys, it's a lot easier to already have your mind made up before you put yourself in that position in the future. Already have your mind made up of what you're gonna do when you're put in that situation.
And you know, we're not here to tell you what you can and can't do. Kissing is fine, but when you start making out, honestly, and using your tongue and all that, this verse is taken out of context what I'm gonna tell you, but I had a mentor that once told me, you know, there's the verse in the Bible that says the tongue is like a rudder, it can steer the whole ship. Well, think about it like the tongue is such a small piece of your body, but when you're making out, it can steer your whole body to do something that you said that you don't want to do. So, you know what? No making out. Was it hard? Yeah, but you know, we can make out now, we're married, so
It was worth it though, it was worth it.
Yeah. And the last one, guys, the last one, no inappropriate touching. Don't touch me. No inappropriate touching. So those are some of the rules. And you know, the other thing that we did, and we had an accountability partner. So we have these elders in our church, so they're our friends. They were our accountability partner. So when Ty and I first started dating, I think it was like the first or second date. And I was like, this guy's gonna like be scared because I'm gonna tell him these rules right up front, because as we said, if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for anything. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. So I took a stand, and when I told him, I was like, I waited and it was kind of silent, and he said, that's like gold to my, what did you say?
I was like, that's like gold to my ears, because I really wanted to honor God in our relationship. All right, guys, so if you have made a mistake, you know what? It's all right, man. Pick yourself back up, you know, and start implementing some of these things in there. You know, like we said earlier, already have your mind made up of what you're gonna do before you're ever put in that situation. You know, and I think that, I think you'll pass the test with flying colors. All right, you guys, I think that's about all we were gonna talk about today, but we really hope that this message encouraged you.
Yeah.
And so we look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Stay tuned for bonus footage.
Jenna and Ty, at the beginning of your relationship, you presented each other with purity rings, is that right? And so I want you to take off your purity rings, those you wore as a symbol that you would stay sexually pure until marriage. And so I want you to exchange those rings together that you're giving to each other now as husband and wife. And now we'll go to the marriage rings. May I have the bride's ring, please?